Thank you so much, choir. I would now like to introduce Amie Nguyen, the salutatorian of the class of 2018, who will address her graduating class. Amie?
Good afternoon. I want to say I am so honored to be up here speaking in front of my senior class, all of their wonderful families, and the school administration. I would first like to begin by saying I am so grateful I was able to be in classes at Anderson in which the teachers cared about me not only as a student, but as an individual. I would also like to thank the administration, especially Ms. Harrison, for creating a great environment to learn in. Also, thank you to Ms. Sabo, our IB program coordinator, who always knew what to do and when to do it, and for saving me many trips to the counselor's office. Thank you to my friends for making high school a tolerable and fun experience. Lastly, a big thank you to my family, Mom and Dad, as they always ensured that I was in the best position to succeed, and my siblings, Chelsea, Haley, and Zach, who provided my life with great, humorous memories. In my 4 years at Anderson, I have come to find that passion is a key ingredient to study in education and of life. It is with passion, courage of conviction, and a strong sense of self that we take our next steps into the world. Now, these words may sound familiar to you because they're straight out of the movie Legally Blonde. Despite the fact that this is the real world, and part of this speech is derived from an entertaining movie, Elle Woods does speak the truth about life. Everything must be done with passion, courage of conviction, and a strong sense of self. But what do these things mean? As a wise man once said, if it's flipping hamburgers at McDonald's, be the best hamburger flipper in the world. Whatever it is you do, you have to master your craft. That wise man was Snoop Dogg. For something to be done with greatness, it has to be done with passion. Loving what you do is so critical to happiness. You should be able to wake up every morning and tell your career, I choose you today, and I choose you every day from here on out. I love you so much. You may think that sounds cheesy, and it's because it's from The Bachelor Season 22. All jokes aside, I constantly hear my peers talking about how much money they're going to make. If money is the ultimate goal, once you achieve it, you'll be stuck in a career that you don't love, which will lead to discontent in life. My advice, do it with passion, or don't do it at all. Never be afraid to switch it up and pursue a hobby or career in something that you really enjoy, despite the salary that comes with the job. Passion in all aspects of life is one of the keys to happiness. Secondly, we must have courage of conviction. I too had to look up what this meant. It essentially embodies the message to stand up for what you believe in and to act in accordance with one's beliefs, especially in spite of criticism. Stand up for yourself, but reciprocate with kindness and not violence. Let your voice be heard, or nothing is going to change for you. I'm not sure if it was me getting older and realizing it, or if just a lot of horrific things happened in this world these past 4 years. But I began to recognize that the issues we thought were eradicated are not. Women, to this day, face inequality and are harassed because of what they wear. People of color are facing racism and oppression. The fact that these things still exist will not change overnight. It starts with you, sticking up for justice and what is right, even if it impacts the life of only one other person. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, we refuse to believe that the bank of justice is bankrupt. I say, as long as we keep depositing our values into the bank of justice, there will be change in this world, pun intended. You must have the courage to apply your conviction to unjust situations. Third, we must maintain a strong sense of self. This is something I'm currently working on. I will be blatantly honest. The confidence in myself falters at times. I ask myself doubtful questions like, do I even know physics? Have I studied history enough? Can I make toast without burning it? Of course, the answers to all of those questions have been a yes, with an exception to the last one. I had always had doubt in myself and my abilities, but in the end, I always pull through. I persistently have to keep telling myself, you can do this. This is how I was able to maintain my busy schedule and heavy workload. I kept reassuring myself that I was capable of the things that life threw at me, and you must all do that as well. Believe in yourself. Aside from this, having confidence doesn't mean you always have to be 100% correct. I know all of you are so smart, but we don't like to admit when we're unsure. Do not be afraid to say, I don't know, when you don't know, or I'll get back to you on that when you need time to think. So, in the future, when your parents ask you when you'll move out of their basement, you tell them, I don't know, I'll get back to you on that. Lastly, in addition to Elwood's Keys to Life, if there's one thing that I learned throughout my 4 years in high school, it's that you never settle for second best. That's coming from your salutatorian of 4 years. I joke, of course. That's actually the exact opposite of what I learned. I've learned that you don't have to be the best. You don't have to have the nicest car, the biggest house, the cutest clothes, or the highest grades, obviously. Life isn't about being the most successful or having the most money. It's about taking a step back and appreciating the things that life has to offer. The people who love you and are always there for you, a smell of a home-cooked meal after a long day of school, Wi-Fi. Jokes aside, materials can only keep you satisfied for so long. We have this idea that the more we have, the happier we are, and at times that can be true. But we find ourselves constantly walking on this hedonic treadmill, wanting more and buying more, suggesting that what we already have is not enough to please us. Finding true and enduring happiness in this chaotic world is a precious thing. This type of happiness doesn't sprout from being monetarily successful. It is derived from doing the things you love and making the most out of them, standing up for what you believe in, and having self-confidence. In other words, take your next steps into the world with passion, courage of conviction, and strong sense of self. So, congratulations, class of 2018. In the words of Elwood, we did it!
Thank you for your wonderful speech, Amie, and congratulations. I'd like to present you with the Salutatorian plaque, and I'd also like Amie's parents to stand and be recognized. Mr. and Mrs. Nguyen, we're just as proud of her as you are. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to again direct your attention to the Anderson Choir. They will perform In My Life, again directed by David Boyd.